Hey guys. So I don't really know what my intro is gonna be yet. I'm not really pressed about no intro. I just really wanted to get this off my chest. To share this story with you guys. Basically, this is something that has tremendously changed my life. And you know, looking back at everything I went through, I know I was very strong. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not really surprised. I've always been strong, but it was so much for me to deal with. Like, thinking about it now, it was just like, wow, like I really went through that. All of that really happened. But I made it through. I'm in such a better place now with myself. And I'm definitely comfortable enough to talk about it now. I'm going to try my best not to make this an emotional video. So basically, right before my freshman year of high school, when I say right before, guys, I mean literally like the summer 2014, I think. Yeah. Summer of 2014, I was diagnosed with alopecia. For everyone that doesn't know what alopecia is, it's basically an immune disease that causes hair loss. Basically, my immune system is attacking my hair follicles, preventing my hair from growing. But this story time is basically just going to be me telling you how it all happened. Everything I went through happened. What it was like. It was crazy. Literally, it was so heartbreaking for me because it's like, damn, like I'm finna go into high school and now I have no hair. I'm really gonna try my best to make this like not emotional, but I feel like it's gonna hit me because I really haven't talked in depth about it like how I'm going to. So excuse me if I guess I kind of realized something was wrong in middle school. Basically, in middle school, I started noticing I was losing like patches of hair, but it wasn't anything that couldn't be covered or anything that was like concerning to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, you need to go to the doctor. It was more so like, oh, like maybe it's, the styles I'm getting. The crazy thing about having alopecia, anybody can tell you that has had alopecia can tell you it's like, you wouldn't even notice it's gone until it's gone. But as time went by, like it would be like, there would be the patches and then eventually like the hair would grow back and then next thing you know, the hair gone again. So I didn't really think nothing of it, but it really started getting bad my 8th grade year. And the spots, it just wasn't growing back. It was getting bigger. It was more noticeable. I literally remember I would go to school with like 5 headbands on, trying to cover it up so that nobody would notice. So I would just wear like a big headband. I would just wear my headbands. It was like I still had hair, but I was losing, in certain spots, I was losing hair. So basically, when it really became a concern, like I said, the summer, my friend had came over. She had slept over one night, but for some reason, my head was itching so bad, guys, that it literally felt like I had spiders in my head. At this time, I think I probably had like a few spots, but maybe like in the middle. But it wasn't like how it was. Like, it was like my hair was fine. And she was just like, go ahead and wash your hair, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, I wasn't comfortable just saying, because I didn't know what it was. So obviously I was trying to hide it from everybody. But the next day, she had left and my mom had washed my hair. It was like all of my hair had died. Like, literally, after she washed it and she was blow drying it out, trying to comb it out, it literally was all dreaded together. Because literally all the dead hair was just knotted together. I've never had terrible, well, I'm not going to say terrible hair, but I had been getting perms since I was young. So, like my hair was never like hard to manage. After she finished, she literally broke down. She was scared. She was like, I don't know what's wrong. Like, she was scared for me. I just remember that day after she finished going to the bathroom and I literally only had like 4 patches of hair left. No joke. Like, I literally have 4 patches of hair left. And the rest of my hair was completely gone. And it was crazy because nobody seen it coming. We didn't know what it was. You can't imagine how devastating that was for me. considering like I'm about to go to high school. Like this supposed to be like, you know, everybody's excited. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just gonna use this shirt I got. And I was so excited to go, and once that happened, it just killed it for me. It's supposed to go around like this, and at first, I didn't even know what to do with myself. It killed it. I didn't know how to work it. I literally was depressed. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to go anywhere. I just wanted to stay in the house, because it's like, what I'm supposed to do with my hair. Like, it was literally patches of hair. It wasn't no getting around it, no combing over it. Like, it was literally gone. Literally, I just had a do-rag on or a little scarf, and I just wrapped it around, and I kept it like that. But it's like literally having to wear that every time you go outside. And I would literally wear that around the house. I wouldn't want, you know, everybody seeing me like that. And, you know, eventually school was starting back. At the time, I was totally against wigs. No, wigs was not always popping. Well, at least not for younger, you know, younger kids. That's something you play around with. You don't just be wearing a wig out, you know, we kids. Like, then I was like, I don't want to wear no wig. Everybody's going to know it's a wig. And I was just totally against wigs. I wore scarves to school. I'm going to insert some pictures. Yeah, I literally had to wear scarves to school. And I just remember my first day of high school was literally like the worst day. Like, everybody was looking at me. A lot of people thought I had cancer, or they thought that was a part of my culture. I literally be walking down the hallway and people just, oh my gosh, I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm perfectly fine. It was not the best experience. I still have friends, made new friends. I still have, you know, boys trying to talk to me, and it was still regular, but it definitely did take time. Constantly people asking, and it was just like, I would be scared. Like, even when somebody would bring up hair, I just completely didn't even want to be in the same space, because the last thing I wanted was somebody to ask me, oh, how long is your hair? You know, like, I tried to avoid all of that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, at first I would lie to be like, you know, it's right here, because it was just like, what am I supposed to say? Like, anybody looking at me differently. I didn't want anybody treating me any differently. I just wanted to be a kid and live normal. You know, I didn't want all of that judgment around me. After I had started wearing wigs, it was, like I said, another scary thing for me. I just can't stress it enough. Like, people that have been through this can relate, but you know, you just don't know how it feels to just feel like at any given moment your wig could come off and like you're completely exposed. Like, there's nothing under here, there's nothing holding this on my head. Like, it's literally just up here. I didn't know about gluing it down and doing all of that. Like, I just put it on and went like that. I would wear headbands on it sometimes so that it would kind of stay down. Like, it was so bad to the point where I was losing my eyebrows. I was losing my armpit hair, my coochie hair. Like, literally, all of my hair was, like, gone. Like, I remember I would literally have to draw my eyebrows on every morning. Every morning before school. Nobody can imagine, like, how that felt for me. Literally had to put on a whole show to feel comfortable. At least halfway comfortable. That was just something else for somebody to hold over my head, you know? Trying to judge me for it or make fun of me about it. So I really try to keep it as low as possible. I just, like, only my friends knew. The people that were close to me knew, or the people that I actually took out the time to tell knew. A lot of people didn't know. I don't know. I mean, just assumed I wore a scarf, like, because my hair won't done, or like I said, maybe it's part of my culture, or some people knew. Like, the people that went to middle school, some of them suspected something was wrong, because like I said, like, I looked sick, guys. I looked sick, bro. I did. I looked sick. Like, I wasn't looking like myself. I wasn't. When I had originally went to the doctor, they thought I had lupus. They thought I had lupus at first, but after I went to another doctor, they confirmed that it was alopecia. And I remember literally having to take almost 7 pills a day. Like, can you just imagine that for somebody so young, just having to take all this medication every day to try to get my hair to grow back just to get minimum results. There were times when I didn't take it. Like, you gotta understand, that's a lot of medicine, definitely for somebody young to manage. And, you know, it's a lot. Like, the medicine that I was on, it was medicine you can only be on but for so long. It affect your bones, blood cells. It was numerous, like, terrible side effects if you were to take the medication for too long. Only take it for a certain amount of time. Took it for maybe like a month or two. Under a year until I got off of it. But the medicine, it completely ruined my appetite. Even though I've always been skinny, I've always been able to eat. As anybody in my family, anybody in my friends, I can eat more than a fat person can eat. Well, I could eat more than a fat person could eat. I mean, plates and plates and still be eating. I can eat now, like, regularly, like I, you know, usually would. But I can go a day without eating and not even notice now. I lost weight. It changed me, like, not just the medication, but just like the whole situation. It changed me. It just made me realize that the little things that we take for granted, like, we should definitely value more because it can easily be taken away from you. It really taught me to, like, really appreciate what I had. I stopped judging people. If I see somebody else making fun of somebody else, it just wasn't funny to me anymore. It was just like, who are you? Like, in middle school, that stuff used to be funny, like, haha, like, you know. But now it's like, if I see somebody getting, like, you know, messed with, like, it's like not cute to me. Like, it really gave me a different perspective on life, for real. It did. I much spent my whole high school year trying to cover it up. Every day, like, just hoping that wouldn't nobody try to pull my hair, or it wouldn't be too windy outside, y'all. Like, I literally would have to, like, stay inside sometimes or hold my freaking hair down because it literally, if it's windy outside or if it's this or that, it's like, bro, I cannot go outside for my freaking wig. Like, there's nothing holding my wig down. Crazy for me. Like, it was so much things. And, you know, some people may say, oh, it's just hair, but it's more than about it being just hair. Like, you know, some people, they try to use that excuse like, oh, people cut their hair all the time. There's people bald out here walking around all the time. But it's like, no, that's by choice. They wasn't forced into that. You know, I didn't choose to be bald. Like, I didn't get to make that choice. I hate when people used to try to do that and try to belittle the situation or try to make it seem like it was not that big of a deal. But it's like, you lose all of your hair and then you tell me how easy it is and all of that. Being bald was not always defined as beautiful. And we all know that. You used to see 2, 3, 4 years ago, you see somebody bald, you breaking your neck. Like, where's her hair? Like, you know, like for a girl, like, no, it was all about having hair, having long hair and all of that. I didn't get that choice. I had to literally try to be that, you know? And I lost myself. Honestly, I lost myself. You know, I was bullied. I was lost. I wasn't happy. I really wasn't. I had to learn how to love myself all over again. And it took me till I damn near graduated to do that. Like, you know, like, I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. Like, that type of depression, feeling that way, I wouldn't wish it on anybody because it definitely, it was not easy for me going through that. I remember this dude, and I mean, he wasn't rude to me or anything like that, but before he found out I was bald, I felt like at the time we could have been something, but after he found out, he just, like, we were still cool, but it wasn't the same. Like, it was like he wasn't gonna mess with me for that. I was very insecure about it. And when I did become confident, more confident about myself and about the situation, because I've always been a funny person, I've always been a happy person, so I would try to, like, turn all that sadness into something funny. You know, I used to post little videos of my head on Snapchat. That when Snapchat was first coming out. And, you know, and I just remember, like, And actually, I had made a YouTube, and I was actually I've always wanted to make YouTube. But I literally made a video of my alopecia story, like around the time it was going on. But I deleted it because literally I was being bullied, and the person that was bullying me was going around like trying to be funny and show my video. At the time, me and this boy were friends. We were friends, and I was comfortable enough to like let him see my head, and we would laugh about it and things like that. But it was like he would sit there and try to be funny and stuff in front of other people, and like try to play me, basically. Like, it wasn't on no friend stuff, like how, like, it was like, that's not something you do to somebody. And after that, I just took it down. I lost my confidence again. It was just like every time I felt like I was one step ahead, I was constantly being pushed 3 steps backward. I didn't want to do sports. I didn't want to do anything. Sophomore year, well, I say when I got my junior year, that's when I was a little bit less, you know, defensive about it. I had it for a little while. I had, you know, been wearing wigs, and, you know, I was kind of learning. It was hard. It was really hard for me. It wasn't like I had anybody else to really talk to about it, because it was like nobody could ever really understand where I was at that time, because wasn't nobody where I was. You know, it's real easy to say, you know, what you can do and all this stuff when it's not you, you know, and we all know that. With prayer, with time, I learned to love myself. For me, I learned that at the end of the day, it is just hair. It could have been so much worse. I could have had cancer, or I could have had lupus and something that was life-threatening, but I don't. No cure for alopecia. I just literally remember I waited like a whole year for an appointment, hoping that they had found a cure, hoping that they had found something to help my hair grow. And literally these people were talking about injections, all this stuff, and I did not care. Like, I did not care what I had to do. I wanted my hair back. I wanted to be normal. I did not want that. Like, I didn't want that for me. And literally, I waited a whole year to go to an appointment just for them to tell me that they had nothing. To tell me that even if they did do the injections, that there was no guarantee that my hair was going to grow. That it might just grow in the spots that they injected, and that usually people with alopecia, in my case, like, with it being like how it is, that if it did grow, it would never grow to the point where I'll be comfortable to actually wear it out. Like, it'll probably always be patches or just little pieces of hair, but never like just my hair actually growing all the way back. And that jump broke my heart, bro. Official breaking point, because I had literally learned, I tried to tell myself, you know, it's okay, your hair can grow back. I would try to keep a positive attitude about it and say, you know, that doesn't define me. My hair doesn't define me, you know. I got used to wearing wigs and used to like covering it up and learning how to cover it up and stuff. But just to be basically told that it was pretty much nothing they could do to help, or that pretty much I had wasted, I had just gave my hopes up. You know, this whole journey, I mean, throughout this whole journey, like, it's just been constant setbacks. And, well, it was constant setbacks for me. And it was like every time I found myself in a good place with myself, it was just something else pushing me back. Like, damn, like, so I was very depressed. Like, y'all can only imagine how I felt about it, you know. It fucked with me. I literally had to go through all of this so young. And I felt alone. I didn't really have, well, I had people that, I'm not gonna act like I didn't have anybody to support me or nobody to My mom was there for me. My brothers were there for me. You know, my friends, my real friends, they were there for me. But at the end of the day, it was really, when you're going through something so traumatic, it's really nothing nobody can say or do. It's something you have to learn how to do yourself. Something you have to learn to like cope with on your own, and I had to do that. I'm sorry, I'm so emotional, y'all, but just thinking about how far I've come, I'm so proud of myself, because I just literally remember when I did not want to be here. I did not want to be here. I did not feel like, I did not love myself at all. Like, I just hated the fact that this had to happen to me. Crazy, because just when I was finna go natural, my fucking hair came out. Like, ain't that some shit? A lot. And a lot of things happened to me in high school. Just a lot of things happened, and it was crazy. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody that. But I am very happy with where I am now. I don't go around feeling sorry for myself anymore. I love myself now. I know my worth. I know that at the end of the day, hair doesn't define me, but I define me. Who I am will always outshine that, you know? Like, now I don't really care, you know. I'll go out. I mean, I did go out one time bald. Actually, very proud of myself for that. I went out one time bald, but I mean, now I would still, but because my hair is actually trying to grow back now, it's like, it's not really the same, because it's like, I don't want to go around with just like a few, like little hairs sticking up and stuff. But I'm definitely more comfortable with it now. It doesn't really bother me anymore, just because I've had so much time to learn how to love myself, so much time to really just accept it for what it was. But I haven't lost faith. I haven't. I pray, and I do still have faith that it will grow back. Because I know that God can do it for me. I know He can, and I just don't lose my faith. But I know if it wasn't to grow back, that I would be okay. You know, I would be okay. And, you know, I don't have to let that bring me down, you know? Like, turn something like this into something so much more positive. You know, I could inspire little girls or even little boys, like everybody that has went through something like this, or just not even just necessarily alopecia, but just anything traumatic, like anything traumatic that really just, you know, that you can make it, you can grow, you will be okay, and that, you know, you cannot let things like that stop you. You can't, because at the end of the day, life is still gonna go on, you know, and it's not gonna do anything but hurt you and put you in a bad state of mind, and it's not worth it, you know, because at the end of the day, you have to be able to accept yourself for who you are, because you can't be anybody else, you know, you're you. And I've accepted that. So I'm sorry, y'all. I got stretched. Just learn to accept myself and love myself for me. I'm so happy that I've came this far to be able to do this, to be able to talk about it, to be able to share with other people my story. You know, but things have definitely got better for me. But now my main goal is to really just inspire people in general, just that no matter what life throws at you, you make the decision yourself if you're gonna let that stop you or you're gonna let that humble you. And I've decided to let this humble me. Having this has just made me really appreciate everything that I have, down to people, down to materialistic things, down to the things that we take for granted on a day-to-day basis. I've just learned to really appreciate it, because once you never realize how much you'll miss something until you lost it. So yeah, but that was pretty much this video about my story, my journey. I know it's kind of all over the place, but it literally, like, I can't, well, I could have, but I'm not gonna keep making this video over again, okay? I'm sorry. Want to continue going on this journey with me, I would advise you to subscribe and like. If you want more story times on just like the crazy things I've experienced in high school. I have so many stories of the crazy things that's happened to me in high school while having this disease, like literally so many crazy things. But like this video, subscribe, and I will do a story time on something crazy that happened to me in high school while having alopecia, because trust me, I got plenty. Or just not even just a high school period. I have plenty of stories to tell on this having alopecia, y'all, because it was never as simple as put your wig on, go to school. Like, no, baby. Something happened. Like, it was not sweet, y'all. It was not sweet. I'm beating you on right now. But if y'all want to see my hair, I would definitely show y'all. Like, look. This is my hair right now. As of 2019, this is it. I hope you guys can see it. Pretty much, that's what I'm walking right now. But it has it's trying. It's really trying. But I'm super happy for myself. At this point, I'm not really pressed about it anymore. If it grows, of course, I'm going to be happy. But if it doesn't, like, that's, yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can really do, but I definitely have faith, because if it could not grow, it would not be coming back. I literally shaved my head off, and like, I shaved off a long time ago, but it's growing back, and it hasn't really, like, this is growing black, but when I first had alopecia, when it would grow, it was literally gray, and the doctors told me, like, it'll turn black after it started growing more. But my hair is black. I have some gray hairs, as you can see, but it's definitely trying, so I'm definitely happy with the progress, you know. But yeah, so stay blessed, y'all, and I'll see you in my next video.